Welcome back to the Fear and Beer podcast,
where we discuss all things Halloween Horror Nights, horror movies, and just a little bit of beer.
So kill the lights, grab a cold one, and join us as we dive into this mad world we love.
I'm Nick.
I'm Seamus.
And I'm Jamie.
Like scary movies.
Uh-huh.
Here's Johnny.
It's alive! It's alive! It's alive!
You miss me.
Aren't you drinking?
I never drink. Why?
And as a reminder to all listening, if you want to help us to continue growing as a podcast, don't forget to leave us a 5-star review on whichever streaming platform you use.
To stay up to date with us and all of our episodes, be sure to follow all of our socials. You can find us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Fear and Beer Pod.
Feel free to reach out to us. We love to interact with you all.
One more day, one more episode. We are almost there through our 1 week until HHN Podathon, which means we are almost there to HHN. 1 day closer, one step closer. You can almost smell and taste the fog. And you know what? Taste the fog is a pretty good term because today we are going through all the food and drinks. We finally got the menus. This is our last episode we recorded because we had to just wait for Universal to drop. So when you come back tomorrow for tomorrow's episode, me and Jamie are miraculously going to grow our hair back. It's a magic trick. It's
true.
My beard is going to grow.
I didn't even think about that.
So
I'm pretty
big
sure my beard
one day.
isn't coming back and going away again. I think I shaved it at the right time.
You did it at the smart time before.
I think.
With the last
I don't know for
three.
sure. I wasn't paying attention. I just couldn't stand it. I had to get rid of it. But
But yeah, so we're going to go through food and beverage today. They did finally drop those. There are a bunch of themed booths, which we are going to spend most of our time in. And then there's your typical, what they refer to as HHN dining, which is kind of the classics that you can find at multiple places. So before we do that, I do want to get into one voicemail because we got a voicemail during the week, and it was actually we've been skipping beers on these ones. So what do you got? You got something special?
Well, yeah, do the voicemail first. I didn't mean to cut you off. I just
honestly, you can get into your beer if you want real quick. And I'll
first. Sorry, voicemailer. I was trying to get him to do you first, but yeah, I got Elysian Night Owl. It's pumpkin beer because pumpkin's the shit. And the problem is I found 1 6-pack of Pumpkinhead like a week ago, and now I can't find it. So I'm fucking pissed. Shipyard, send us more, please. Come on, this is like sending an SOS to Shipyard up in Portland. Orlando, Florida needs more Pumpkinhead. Find me more Pumpkinhead, please.
I haven't seen any at Publix yet.
I was at Publix and I found 1 6-pack left. I'm like, damn, it's going quick. I got to get it now, but I don't get it. So, but Elysian is a solid 1B. Especially if you dig pumpkin ales. So I don't really have to spend a ton of time on it, but typical pumpkin beer. But it's solid, especially if you're a basic bitch like I am.
Well, we haven't really been doing voicemails during the week because I haven't asked for them, and we've been recording in such a chaotic order. But this one came in at the right time, and it's asking questions about beer. And like beer offerings. So I figured it's worthwhile playing. It's a little bit of a longer one, but since we haven't really done any this week, I'll just let it run. So let's kick it off and then we'll kind of respond and then we'll get into the menus.
Hey, this is Matt. I'm a big fan of the show. I've been listening for a long time. I just wanted to call in and comment on the biggest issue that I have with HHN. Been coming down from Atlanta for several years, and it's always a great time. But as a big-time beer fan, beer aficionado, I struggle with their horrendous beer selection throughout the event. One IPA, one sour, typically the same sour every year. Maybe a pumpkin ale, maybe not a very good one. No stouts to be seen anywhere. And I just am getting a little bit frustrated with every single beer cart being Modelo, Miller Lite, or a lacto cooler. So as the Fear and Beer podcast, I'd like to hear you guys' thoughts on what's surely a lackluster part of the event, and really wish that the food and beverage team would pick it up and work on that, and maybe look down the street at their competition, who's not really competition, but Howl Scream, and see how well they do with beer and some of the local vendors they use, some of the local craft and national craft beer that they use. So would love to hear you guys' thoughts and kind of go into some more detail on what you think they could do to improve the beer and why they haven't improved it so far. And that's it. So keep up the great work. I really appreciate what you guys do and all the content you provide, and hope to have a beer with you in the fall. All right. Thank you.
Oh, yeah. So, Matt, thanks for calling in, and you called in really at the perfect time because you couldn't have picked a more episode. You couldn't have picked a better episode that this pertains to. Yeah, exactly. We're kind of already touching on that, but honestly, everything you said, I couldn't agree with you more. I'm very sick of the beer selection being so lackluster. As you mentioned, Hello Scream does a really good job of providing not just multiple different beers, but a lot of different cocktails that sort of switch it up. And I don't drink a lot of the cocktails, but they do tend to have the same cocktails mixed every year in and out. Is usually the Ghoul Juice or the Electric Death or whatever it is. But yeah, it's the same pumpkin beer, which we'll get into. Spoiler alert: Whole Hog is back, and I'm not too fond of that myself. I'd assume Lacto Cooler is back again, and then we have the Hacker Pure Oktoberfest, which is fine, but I would like a new variety. Now this year, I think we get this IPA back. I think it's the same one we had last year. It's the Crooked Can Bloody Murder IPA, which is I'm glad and very curious. Right, we have Crooked Can Bloody Murder IPA because it fits the theme, and we get an IPA. But just get more Crooked Can. Include more Crooked Can for us because they're right down the street. So, Seamus, your thoughts on that as well?
I think you covered all the bases. I don't disagree with the caller one bit. That's always been my biggest concern, or not concern, but more like harmless complaint, is that there's never really any decent selections when it comes to beer. Now, obviously, why is that the case? That's a great question. I don't think anybody really has the answer to that except for Universal, but my guess is that they spend more time focusing on coming up with interesting mixed drinks because generally that's what most of the normal crowd's going to drink. If they're not drinking mixed drinks, they're drinking cheap, macro beer like Miller Lite or Bud Light or whatever the hell else they have that's, you can get at any liquor store across the country. Unfortunately, I think that they feel like the effort it would take and the money it would take to put together a list of more unique or niche beers, I think that's probably beyond what they want to do for this event. And it's sad because, obviously, like Nick and myself, obviously the caller Matt, and I bet you a lot of people probably do expect more, especially considering the other theme parks do include more options. It would be nice if they would just pick one bar and say we're making this like the craft beer bar.
Yeah, that would
I
be
feel
cool.
I feel like it wouldn't be that hard to do that. I think the hard part is procuring all of the different local places, the brands and that sort of thing, and then getting a keg in. You would think that having a year to plan this, they would be able to do that. So why they don't, it's a good question. I don't know. Maybe they just don't feel like it would the money for what they would get for it. They don't want to be stuck with a whole bunch of kegs of beer that they can't sell. And then what do they do with it? Because they don't sell it normally throughout the year. Because I think, so you did bring up SeaWorld. I'm pretty sure that SeaWorld has the craft beer yearly. Yeah. So it's not like it's not brought in just for the scary event. So it's like if they don't sell all of it, it's not like it's going to waste because it's just going to be there year round anyways. Whereas Universal, I've never seen them carry anything incredibly unique, crafty, except during Horror Nights. And it's like you said, the Lacto Cooler, more recently the Bloody Murder, which was actually pretty good. If you're an IPA drinker, that Bloody Murder is solid. Crooked Can does great options, especially if you're not from the Central Florida area and you're thinking of trying something from the area. That's a good selection to start with. Is Crooked Can. So yeah, I think at the end of the day, we agree that they definitely need to think about that going forward. Maybe in the next couple of seasons, like how can we improve the beer selection? But I also wouldn't hold my breath thinking that they're going to do anything drastically different than what they usually do. But it does suck. I will say it's one of the few gripes I have with this event is that there just aren't that many options. And even Jamie, you're not a beer drinker really, but like even for you, like we were just talking before we started recording, like they don't have a lot of other options outside of the mixed drinks.
Right. And that's the only thing too. It's like sometimes I don't really feel like drinking mixed drinks all night trying to get too a little crunky at HHN every night spending a bunch of money. And it sucks because even though I'm not a big beer drinker, I do still like having the sours and the ciders and stuff like that. And all they really have usually is the Angry Orchard or the Sin cider, which we will get into it later, that I did not see in the menu, and I'm very upset about it because it was very good and I always look forward to it. But yeah, other than that, and then the lacto cooler, the sour, I'm really not a huge fan of that one, to be honest. And some of the other ones that they've had, I think was like a really weird, like I think it might have been a cider, but it was like a key lime pie, weird kind of cider sour that they had one year that I don't think did that well or I didn't like. So yeah, I feel like, and it's funny that you said about how them selling in the parks if they don't use it all. Last year after Horror Nights, I remember going to the parks maybe a couple weeks after, and I'd never seen it before, but in some of the beer carts they had, I guess it was the leftover ciders from the event, the Sin ciders that I usually drink that they were trying to get rid of. So
right, and
like, dang, I guess people must not have liked them as much as I thought.
Right, and in the case of packaged stuff like that, so like cans that they didn't sell throughout the event that they need to get rid of, those you can do that. You can stick them on a cart and say, "We'll get rid of them. We get rid of them." The problem is a lot of the craft beer has to come in through kegs, correct? And you can't sell a third of a keg and then be stuck with it because eventually it's going to go bad because once you've tapped a keg, you've tapped it. And I think that's their biggest worry, which is maybe a silly worry because I feel like it would sell. But then again, maybe they've done numbers and they've said, we don't think it will sell with how much beer we sell throughout the season. If we bring in additional types and additional brands and other types of, craft beer, we wouldn't sell as much as we think we would because as of right now, our bigger sellers are the mixed drinks. And that's probably why they make that choice, which again sucks for us, but maybe just based on general numbers and who comes into the park and who comes in for the event, they just don't do enough. They don't do enough sales on beer to make it worth it.
Not to cut you off or interrupt you, Seamus, but I was just going to say that I thought maybe it was because they make more money off the mixed drinks. They can make more money selling the liquor.
They do, for sure.
But I feel like if you add some good craft beers on there, I feel like craft beers could be a little pricey sometimes, especially if you add them there. So, but maybe they think people will pay for the liquor over a beer, if they're going to pay that much anyway, kind of thing.
We'll talk about the prices, but I mean, they have stayed relatively consistent over the last few years, but you're still paying $12-$13 for a beer. I think they're $13 this year without buying the souvenir cup.
I'm paying like $12 for Nooners every time.
Right.
Pretty much.
Actually, it's funny if you look at the menu, and we'll get into it in more detail. But like the beers, if you buy the souvenir cup, it's $16 to start, and then it's $12.75 for a refill, which is 25 cents cheaper than a standard pour. Mm-hmm. So it's almost like if you're going to drink more than one, you're better off getting the souvenir cup and then just getting refills every night. It's just going to suck for us when we go 30 times and we end up with 30 souvenir cups.
Yeah, exactly. Because we definitely forget all the time to bring our own that we have at the house already.
Right, but you're right for sure. Because like as of right now, they do upcharge whatever craft they do currently have, but it's only by a couple bucks. But you're still already paying a premium, so they could charge an additional premium depending on what they bring in. But yeah, it just kind of sucks that they don't. So I agree with Matt to finish my long drawn out thought.
Yeah. So let's get into some of these little booths. So I'm going to quickly, if you want to kind of follow along, you can. We're on the Universal Orlando site. I'll run through the HHN dining kind of over. This kind of just covers a lot of different booths. But obviously we have our twisted taters. You can get them in sour cream and chive, garlic parm, and seasoned salt. Now we did find out last year, I can't confirm that this is true this year as well, but last year, salt and vinegar hasn't been on the menu for like the last 2 years, but you can order it. They have the stuff there. So they at least did last year. They did at least have it last year. So you can always just double check and ask about that. The classic pizza fries are back. Those are a staple of HHN. Obviously, those are just fries, marinara sauce, cheese, pepperoni, sausage. But then they also have the vegan option of that. So they have vegan pepperoni, vegan sausage crumbles. So that's kind of like your basic HHN food that is going to be there in some capacity. Now, when we're talking about all these bars and drinks, they're kind of in multiple places. So the Ghoul Juice is back. That is a Myers dark rum. It's got cherry brandy, lime juice, mango nectar. It's an okay cocktail. You have Surreal Soda, which is kind of a newer cocktail, but there's really not much to it. It's really just vodka, orange soda, orange Fanta, Sprite, and blue raspberry syrup. So they're kind of theming the drinks after the icons, but also using that Fanta sponsorship.
As like someone who's not a mixed drinker, that Surreal Soda sounds fire though. I'm not gonna lie to you. It actually sounds really good. Like I love orange soda. Like I am the white Kel. I love orange soda. And mixing it with Sprite, I feel like actually will taste really, really good. But maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
No, vodka and Sprite go together. So you have a Dead Meridian. It is a silver tequila, some Chipotle pineapple syrup, basil, and Fanta orange. So sort of margarita-ish. And then you have the Creepy Cola. It's Jack Daniel's, Coke, black cherry puree, stone fruit syrup, and gummy creepy crawlies. So it looks like you get some little gummy worms in there. You have, for beers, you have what I mentioned before, the Hocker Shore Oktoberfest. The Whole Hog Pumpkin Ale is back, and the Crooked Can Bloody Murder IPA. And then, of course, you're going to have an array of domestics, whether that's Bud Light, Stella Artois, stuff like that.
Well, they do have the I don't know, maybe I just missed it, but the Hocker Oktoberfest.
The Hocker Shore,
which is pretty good if you're looking for something that's a little more.
I kind of
crafty.
prefer that than the Whole Hog at this point.
If I had to pick between the two of them, I'd probably go with the Oktoberfest.
Yeah,
because you're still going to get like that. Sorry, I mean you're still going to get that fall vibe. Mix of flavors.
Yeah. And one of the other drinks. So obviously we went over the Surreal Soda. At some of the other locations, there is a Sinister Spritz. It's a New Am vodka, Aperol, and Fanta orange. Kind of Aperol Spritz style drink. So if you're into that stuff, that's the one you'll want to lean towards. Then you have a Black Cat's Reprieve. It's a Bacardi rum, lime juice, watermelon syrup, simple syrup, and pineapple. That sounds way too sweet for me. And what's good is it seems like a lot of these bars got their full liquors back. So you can get a mixed cocktail with your liquor of choice. So you can kind of do your own style drink. But those are about $3 more than these mixed cocktails. These mixed cocktails are about $13.50, it looks like, for a self-serve, and then a 12-ounce serve of like a make your own is $16. So if you want just like a Captain Morgan and rum, it's pricier than one of their specialty cocktails.
I will correct us slightly. We'll get to the different themes one, but we may be slightly mistaken on beers this year.
There is one little portion that I'm excited about.
There is there's one section that I just noticed. So
yep, they hit it in there for sure. Some of the other drinks that you'll find throughout the park: Eye of Otis, again themed after our little sort of mascotty guy. New Am gin, lemon juice, lychee syrup, a prickly pear syrup, Sprite, and a lychee blueberry quote unquote eye. So that sounds interesting. Seems kind of. I could go with that. I like my gin drinks. And you have a Soured Sunshine. It's an Old Forester bourbon, lemon juice, simple syrup, Fanta orange. That does not sound good at all. I will absolutely miss that one. And then you have at the Fanta's Fear Factor bar, you have the Fanta Rita. It's a silver tequila, lime juice, and Fanta orange, which essentially, if you just switch out the orange and Mountain Dew, that is a redneck margarita. I'm trying to see through all these other ones.
I'm still going to try it. I told you I love orange soda.
Right.
I do like orange soda too.
Quick to Die margarita is a Cuervo traditional tequila, Cazadores, espresso liquor, lime juice, and sugar. That's interesting. I might steer clear from that as well. And I will quickly run down. So those are all kind of throughout the park. And now I'm quickly going to run through the list of the cocktails that you can find in the Dead Coconut Club this year. And like I said, we won't spend too much time on listing through and talking about these in detail, but just so you have the information in front of you, and then we'll dive into more specific themed booths in a moment. But at the Dead Coconut Club, you can get the Coffin Mojito, Bacardi rum, lime juice, agave nectar, Sprite, soda water, and it has a blue glitter and mint. That's weird. Okay, it's a mojito. That's fine. That's interesting. The Coffin kept making me think coffee, and I was like, a coffee mojito? No, it's Coffin, you idiot. Blood Moon Punch. Nice little throwback to last year, huh?
I like that one.
Old Smoky Tennessee Moonshine, White Lightning, Grand Gala, cranberry juice, OJ, lime juice, dragon fruit, grenadine, and soda water. That sounds like a lot going on.
Probably won't be drinking that one, though.
No. You have the Daggered Lemonade. It's a Deep Eddy vodka, lemon flavored. You have the Ferrand Dry Carousel, lemon juice, cranberry juice, orange juice, dragon fruit syrup. These are very sweet drinks. You have the Night Elixir, which is a Beefeater gin, dry style, Saint Germain Elderflower, Bitter Truth Violet Liqueur, lime juice, simple syrup, and blue glitter. I think that has your name written all over it.
Really good. It does. I want to try that one for sure. We got to go here.
We have the Immortal Thirst, which is a Stiggins Fancy Pineapple Run, Bowls Peach Schnapps, lime juice, orange juice, Reynolds Original Cocktail Syrup, and a Pimento Bitters. That could be okay. A little bit too much. I probably wouldn't want the lime juice in there personally. We have the Bleeding Eye, which is a traditional tequila, creme de cassis, lime juice, agave nectar, and ginger beer. That sounds, I could do that. Death by La Dola. You have a Cuervo traditional tequila, cucumber and jalapeno essentials, lime juice, simple syrup, and a hint of smoked salt. I'm not a huge tequila drinker, but I could get down on that one. Red Velvet Revenge is a Cruzan light rum, syrup, lime, mint, smoked salt, and an edible orchid. That is also up Jamie's alley. You have the Purge Punch. It is a rum, coconut cream, pineapple, papaya juice, lime juice, and a hint of smoked salt. They love the smoked salt. That one does not sound too bad either. You have the Factory Made Fear, which is a mandarin vodka, blue carousel, lemon juice, cranberry juice, sour mix, and candy balls. And that is it for the cocktails in the Dead Coconut Club. So they got a variety of everything. So if you like different spirits, whether it's tequila, gin, or anything like that, you could be able to, I would say, head over there to pick it up. But let's get into the actual food booth. So which one of you wants to take A Quiet Place? That seems like it's our first one on the list.
Seamus, you want to do this one? Because I would like to do Insidious, if that's okay with you fellas.
Yeah, it's fine. I just had to find it. And I've got a cat attacking my face.
Yeah.
So
I was going to say, you could have picked anybody else except the cat, right?
No, it's fine. The cat's just cat. It's gotta hang. She waits until we start doing this. And she knows it's weird, but I guess animals are smarter than they give us credit for. Yeah, so A Quiet Place. I'm actually kind of excited about this booth, even though I probably won't eat the marquee item here, which sucks because it looks really funny. So they have a couple things. They have 3 food items and a drink, which is typical of what their themes are now. You get 3 food items and a specific drink. But the food items are Abbott's Farm corn chowder, which is like a corn chowder stew. I mean, we're used to fish, not fish, but clam chowder. I don't know. Call me from New England. I don't even know what it's called. Clam chowder. Yeah. So corn chowder is a different type of thing that don't really ever eat, but it sounds interesting. The only problem is it's got shrimp in it. It's shrimp, corn, veggies.
I don't like shrimp.
I'm not a seafood guy, so I probably will not touch this. But sounds interesting for those that are into that. Millbrook's baked beans, which now that might be something I'm into. Quietly cooked baked beans with mashed potatoes, cheddar cheese, and a cornbread muffin. Ooh. Yeah, and for $8.99, that sounds like one of those meals where I could fill right up on something like that. But it sounds really good. And also, being from Boston, baked beans are the best. Mm-hmm. And then the last item, which I think is pretty funny, I'm kind of bummed it's an eclair, but it's the wooden board eclair, and it's got a little fake nail in it with what is it, like bloody chocolate plank? I don't know what it uses for the blood. Maybe some sort of like raspberry or strawberry something. But it looks like the board with the nail that she steps on in the movie. Yep. So I thought that was kind of cool. That's funny. Too bad I don't like eclairs, and it sucks because I want to try it, but I just can't do eclair cream. It's weird. Yeah. And then it leaves us our beverage option, which is Raining Blood. Sounds interesting. It's got Old Forester bourbon in it. I don't know what Lucky Falernum. I don't know what Falernum is. I've never heard of that. So for any of my drinkers out there that know what different things are, De Kruiper creme de cassis, blackberry syrup, lemon juice, and a hint of smoked sea salt. So I've never heard of anything like this, but it is a bourbon drink, so it's gonna have that base, that smoky base from the bourbon, and then a bunch of sweet on top of it. Not sure it's something I would try, but I'm obviously there's someone out there that would be into that. But
yeah, blackberry throws me off. I don't like the bitterness in blackberry syrup.
Yeah, Souvenir light bulb. Did you guys see that Souvenir light bulb? I didn't see that before. At the bottom of
drink.
It's the drink. Oh man, love me a good little drink holder.
At a quiet place. Oh, the Souvenir light bulb. Oh, yeah. So it's cool. In a light bulb. Okay, I don't get it.
1750. Damn.
What does the light bulb play for significance in that movie?
It'll probably be more of a red drink, so that way the red bulbs are how they alert that something bad is going on.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Well, I didn't know that. So there you go. I learned something.
Yeah, that's a decent little booth. It does seem like we're getting 2 like food items and a dessert and a drink, which is kind of, I do like that they've stuck to this formula. The chowder, I might try it one night. I don't mind shrimp in a chowder if it's kind of like with a lot of other seafood, but when it's primarily shrimp, I can't really, I'm not really a huge fan of it. Baked beans, that's interesting. Everyone's gonna be farting around the goddamn park now.
Well, I can't smell any bad, a bit worse than it usually does. So.
Yeah, right. True. Yeah, maybe the fart smell will mask the BO from everybody.
Yeah, I'll just go huff a fog generator at some point.
But yeah, so decent little booth. So let's move along. I'll tackle the Ghostbusters Frozen Empire because I've been joking about a food item from here on Twitter for the last 3 days now, and I just think I'm the funniest person in the world. We have the Slimer's Korean corn dog. It's a Korean cheese dog with Fritos coated with Cheetos. It's a Cheetos powder, but it has also a ghost pepper spice, sage derby cheese, and mozzarella. So similar-ish to that, I forget what it was last year, but there was some
the cordyceps dog.
There's some big old fucking dog over there with a bunch of cheese that I got to mow down on a couple times. The other food item, the Frozen Death Chill. It is a Korean corn dog dipped mint cheesecake with bugles and glitter.
This sounds like from the deepest, darkest reaches of hell. I love cheesecake. I can't figure out what the fuck this is.
This honestly sounds worse than the fucking hot dog.
So how do you corn dog dip something? What does that mean? Like, is it cheesecake in a corn dog batter?
Ugh, just out of all the flavors, they chose a mint. I just think that's so weird.
I'm not gonna lie to you. This is that item I think for this year where it's like this is just disgusting enough that I have to try it.
Ooh, I will.
I know Nick will, but I may be buying one of these because I'm gonna hate myself when I like it. And I actually like want another one.
That's the worst part is when you end up.
And
liking
there's glitter. And there's glitter. So if I eat like 4 of them, I'm gonna poop out a strip club.
You're gonna shit glitter. Not to get gross, but
that's how it works. And the last food item, which I can't wait for, the mini Stay Puffs s'more. It's a mini Stay Puff marshmallow chocolate bar and a graham cracker. I'm going to decimate these little fuckers. I'm going to be ripping their heads off like a goddamn maniac. I love s'mores. They are like my go-to, obviously, campfire treat. But the fact that we got it here, man, they better be hot and like melty. And man, I love how some people I feel like it was kind of split people are like, oh, it's so cute, like I can't touch it. I'm like, it's so cute, I can't wait to erase it from this earth. I'm going to destroy that little thing and send it on a mission through my body. I can't wait to get this
Give me
little more,
14 of them.
this little s'more guy. So let's sneak into the beverages. There's actually 2 beverages at this booth. It looks like an NA Bev. Maybe
Yes.
that's got to be an NA Bev because it's only
the blue
$8.50.
Curacao. I read online. I think some of the
It's
blue
alcohol?
Curacao, some have alcohol in it. Yeah,
Some of them do. It's weird
but
that it's
like
only
a light
$8.50 though.
percentage. Yeah, it is a non-alcoholic drink, but it was like noted for like the things. It was like blue.
There could be
Some
notes
brands
on
of
it.
blue Curacao might contain traces of alcohol or whatever.
Well, it's
I
one of
think it's
those
just a
ones where it's
mixture.
like if it's under a certain percentage, they consider it non-alcohol because like
Right.
non-alcoholic beers technically
Yeah.
only have 0.01% alcohol in it, but there's still technically a little bit in it. So that's why they say that, just to protect themselves.
Yeah.
But you have the Class V concoction, which is a New Am vodka, Saint Germain elderflower, kiwi syrup, honeydew melon, lime, vanilla bean, and a little a fluffed marshmallow topping. That actually sounds pretty good.
Yeah, it does.
The kiwi and the honeydew and the lime, I know they're not the same, but the honeydew always makes me think of the kekigoris from Epcot, the little iced things. So I might play with that. I like the vanilla bean that kind of coats a lot of that like strong vodka taste. That should coat it at the end. And then you have for what can be seen as seemingly an NA Bev just based off the price at $8.50. You have Garaka's Icy Breath. So honeydew syrup, lime juice, blue carousel, elderflower syrup, and a fluff marshmallow. That is
sounds
a
good too.
vegetarian and gluten sensitive item. So that sounds pretty decent. I would like that with vodka, please. Yeah, but that's Ghostbusters. So Jamie, why don't you tackle Insidious? Because I know that you're definitely wanting to talk about this one.
I did, because after I go over them, I'll let you know on how Horror Nights flopped the bag on this one and what food is not included that should have been included. But to begin with the Insidious, so the first thing we have is the Red Door, which is a potato and onion filled hand pie, and this is vegan. This one is going for $9.49. I think it's going to be similar to the little coffin sambusa little hand pie we've had the last couple years, which is pretty tasty, so I'm looking forward to that. This one sounded really good to me, actually. Eggs in the further, jalapeno brioche egg in the hole with shakshuka and feta cheese, and this is also vegetarian. And that is going for $11.99. And then a little dessert that we have is the Last Key Pop, a red velvet cake pop with a chocolate key. How cute. I always love the little decorative desserts that they have out. As for beverages goes, this sounds... Veil of Shadows, White Claw Black Cherry Vodka, DeCuper Creme de Cassis, Blackberry Syrup, Pineapple Juice, Sour Mix, and a Black Licorice Candy Veil. Nick, you sound like you might like that. You like black licorice?
I do like black licorice.
I think it's gross.
Disgusting.
And then they have the non-alcoholic version of Beyond the Veil, which is pineapple juice, citrus sour mix, blackberry syrup, and a black licorice candy veil as well. So, not bad.
Black licorice.
You could definitely, I'll drink the drink and you could have the little black licorice from it. But before we get over this Insidious topic here, the one thing I did have to say, can you guys guess what food that they should have had here before I say it? Maybe it's not as obvious to other people as it is to me. They didn't have spaghetti. That's the first thing Dalton eats in the first movie when he wakes up from the coma, whatever kind of thing he had, was spaghetti.
I would have never guessed that.
Really? I feel like that was the first thing I thought. Like before you have the food menus, I was like, man, they gotta have like some sort of like spaghetti dish on there. It's the first thing he eats. And I feel like looking back at the other movies, like that's like all any of them eat in the movie. I haven't seen anyone eating in any of those films. So why would you not?
That's like one of those weird things, like when you really think about normal day life compared to movies. Like in movies, like you don't often see them doing like normal stuff, like
it is
just
weird.
having normal dinner or like going to the bathroom or like anything like that, or like drinking water, like unless they're specifically at like a dining scene, like they're not just like, oh, time for lunch, time for breakfast, I'll do that next thing after dinner. Like it's usually not a big part of the movies. And I honestly never would have put spaghetti with Insidious. I never would have thought that.
Well, if anyone listening right now also thought this and knows what I'm talking about, please justify me because now I feel like a dumb idiot.
No, I mean, it does make sense now that you said that, but I wouldn't have ever guessed. If you gave me a multiple choice on like what meal did Dalton have, I wouldn't have gotten it right. And we just watched those movies like 1,000 times.
I was going to say, it's just me being an Insidious nerd because we just watched them.
All right. So, Seamus, do you want to tackle Universal Monsters Eternal Bloodlines?
Yeah, sure. We'll find it here.
The monsters.
So, where are you?
They got a lot of vegetarian stuff this year, it seems, which is kind of nice. I like the options.
Where are the monsters?
So
there we go. I found it. All right. This is the Eternal Bloodlines booth. It's on the bridge, so where Chucky was a couple of years ago and where the Pumpkin Lord house was, that booth. So I actually gotta say I kind of like the look of the booth. I think it's kind of cool. The little bridge with the drawbridge and I forget what the hell you call that door thing, but they have a In the Fog, which I like that. Fish and chips. This is an expensive piece of food.
Yeah,
it is pretty pricey, but it is fish, so I can understand why. It is crispy beer battered cod nuggets with a malt vinegar aioli sauce and pub fries. So it's like fish and chips, like the typical, UK dish that you can get pretty much anywhere. But it is interesting. They're nuggets, so they're not like full fillets. Kind of like when you go to like the UK in Epcot and you get like the full fillet, like that full piece of fish. These are nuggets, so that's why I'm kind of shocked by the price, but maybe they're giving you a lot. But not a fish guy, so I'm not going to touch that. But if you're into fish and chips, might be worth checking out. Forbidden falafel. This is something I'd be more interested in. It's a falafel with tomato cucumber salad and a tzatziki inside a warm pita. I love falafel, so I'm definitely going to check this one out. And then our desserty dish is the bride's cake, which is the only thing here that actually like represents monsters in all reality. Right. But it's chocolate coated 3-tier vanilla cake with raspberry jam. Again, raspberry kills it for me. I would totally give this a shot, but I can't do raspberry. I'm not a big raspberry, blackberry, strawberry type guy.
I don't like cake.
So I like cake, but it's got to be specific cake with specific filling. And then our drink option, which we've only got the one, is the sarcophagus spiced cider. So we do have some cider element here, Jamie. It's got Cuervo Tradicional vodka, Liquid Alchemist tamarindo syrup, lime, and orange juices. So a pretty standard drink. Not really sure where the cider is coming from.
I was going to say, I don't know why they called it a cider. Yeah. It's got friggin' tequila in it. Maybe it was just trying to go with the theme of the name. Like
it's got tequila and vodka.
Yeah, but you could have called it anything but cider. Oh. Yeah, I don't know. This drink may kick your ass. They're
trying to get people lit this year.
Well, if you want to get lit at Universal, you can get lit at Universal. It's not that hard.
Yeah, I do like the fish and chips. I'm interested about that. I don't eat a lot of fish, but fish and chips I do like.
Mm-hmm. I was going to say, I still can't believe you guys are both from New England. And Seamus, you don't like fish either? You're not a big fish guy?
I hate seafood. I cannot eat it. Makes me sick to my stomach. And the thing is
crazy, both of you guys. That's funny.
I no offense. I blame him a lot, but I blame my father for this one too, because he
doesn't like seafood.
No, he is a seafood guy. Loves seafood. He eat it all the time if he chose to. But he used to eat what they call steamers, or basically they're like full bellied clams.
Yeah,
that's what I like.
Type of clam or type of shellfish or whatever. And I think the one time I had them with him, and I, of course, did what you don't do, which is actually chew them. And the first time I bit into sand, I was like, that's it, I'm done. Never touching seafood again. And I have not eaten seafood since then. And that was, I was a kid. I hate fish. I hate the smell of fish. I hate the taste of fish. I hate the smell of the ocean. I don't go in the ocean water up to my ankles, maybe at most. But I hate I hate anything fishy. It's gross. It's no. Sorry for anyone that's a fish fan. Like, I don't mean to offend you, but I can't do it. Oh no.
I like the steamers. I like steamers. You got to take them out. And you got to wash them in water first. And
God,
so much work. Butter.
It's not so much work. It's like bone-in chicken wings. Like, I don't care how much of a beta it makes me. Boneless chicken wings are the only thing I will touch. I will not touch bone-in chicken wings because I'm like, it's so much work. So much work just to eat chicken.
Just get in my stomach.
I am offending so many foodies out there right now tonight. So I'm sorry, foodies. I don't mean to offend you, but I am what I am.
You like what you like.
All right. Let's move along now to the Slaughter Cinema 2 booth, which we actually have a handful of items here. So here you can find the Summer Camp Dog. Is a deep fried all beef hot dog topped with Tostitos nacho cheese, baked beans, pepper relish, and Cheetos. I have found my Carnival hot dog.
Nick, I think this was made for you.
They're going hard on the hot dogs this year.
The pepper relish really just set it off.
Dude, pepper relish, baked beans, and Cheetos. Like, oh, I can't wait.
That's three of my favorite things.
I might as well just call this like the Nick dog.
Yeah, the best thing too is this is right next to the bathrooms, so you can eat it
even better.
Immediately kind of like fucking waddle your ass in there to unload in those 90-degree bathrooms.
Those nice new ET bathrooms.
Yeah, well, that or the one
or the
by Simpsons. The Simpsons.
It's like that. I just think of that. I think of that image of like the dude going to the jukebox and they're like, he's going for the jukebox. It's like, Nick, he's going for the bathroom. Stop him.
Pretty much. Well, when you just fill your body with nacho cheese, baked beans, and Cheetos, and hot dogs.
Right. When you, Horror Nights food is not a good thing to load your body up for 2 months, but you know.
Horror Nights is not the only thing with horror running through it. My body is also running horror through it.
Screaming with horror.
Yeah. So along the Summer Camp Dog, you have the Ropa Vieja walking taco. Those are back. So you have Doritos this time. Did we have Doritos last year? It was just Fritos last year, right? It was just
Fritos.
Fritos.
Yeah, that was one of the downfall was that it was.
Yeah, you said it wasn't hot enough.
Yeah, and they didn't have hot sauce. So bring hot sauce with you. Like bring those little mini bottles.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you need to find your own hot sauce.
I started doing that last year.
Yeah, so you have the Doritos, the Vieja, salsa roja, lettuce, sour cream, and jack cheese, and they come in the little baggies of the Doritos. So it is nice. It was good last year, but I just needed some more flavor and I needed some spice. But the vegan walking taco is essentially the same thing, but it's got a vegan chili. It says Diablo sauce in there, so maybe this one will contain some hot sauce for you.
It'll actually be
hot. It has
hot.
Cholula on it too, which is nice.
Yeah, but these are the ones that are in the Fritos now. So if you want Fritos, you get the vegan. If you want the Doritos, it's the regular. You have Rocks from Hell. I'm
so pumped.
These sound
crispy
really
jalapeno and cheddar cheese stuffed lumps of coal.
I cannot wait for these.
Delectable.
Oh my god, this might be one of my favorite booths so far.
Yeah,
if it doesn't come with ranch,
we're gonna have a problem. Good.
Mm-hmm.
And then the final food item is the cinema.
Oh my god.
Yeah, right. The cinema popcorn. It is Flamin' Hot Cheetos popcorn.
Yay,
and you do still have a beverage here. It is the Shirley Black. It is a vodka, raspberry, and then there's a orchid cherry liquor, a tart cherry syrup, lemon juice, and a blueberry popping boba and Sprite. So it kind of threw me off. Shirley Black, I was thinking more Shirley Temple. It does have Sprite and cherry, but there's a whole bunch of other stuff in there that'll take away from that flavoring. So I might still give this a shot. I'm curious about the blueberry popping boba. I like blueberry flavoring.
It's got raspberry vodka in it though.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a
my only.
But yeah, that's the
food at this one is. Yeah, I can't wait for the food at this one. Holy crap!
Yeah. So Jamie, do you want to tackle Monstros?
Yeah, so I can mess up all the names and all the names of the food, but that's okay. I've been practicing. Okay, so over at Monstros, which is going to be the bar right next to La Bamba Cafe, that little sidebar that they have there now, pretty permanently for Horror Nights. Starting off with the food, we have the Heart, in quotations, beet tostada. See what it did there. Red beet tartare with hummus, vegan feta, and watercress on a crispy tortilla. This is vegan and gluten sensitive. I'm not a huge beet girl, hit or miss on that one for me, so I'm not really sure about that one. You got the spinal column pinchos, grilled chicken tenders with red chimichurri for $10.99. Saw pictures of those online. They look good for you meat lovers. Can't lie. We got the Park Carniceria, slow roasted mojo pork mole sauce and tortilla. And then the chocolate tres leches, milk soaked chocolate cake with whipped topping and canela for $5.99. And then, I know, right? Sounds so good. We only have one mixed drink over at this one. I feel like they had two maybe last year, but we have the Depre de Dora, Misguided Spirits, Silver Rum, Capoletti, Mazzora, oh my god, Aperitivo, mango syrup, pineapple and lime juices, Disco Inferno bitters, and pomegranate seeds. And this bad boy will cost you $13.50 or $17.50 like the other mixed drinks with a souvenir cup.
Yeah, this one is
nothing I'm too crazy about, really.
Yeah,
that tres leches
except
cake,
for the
though.
except for the tres leches cake. It sounds really good.
Yeah,
I like tres leches.
I'm not a huge, like I said, I'm not a cake guy, so
it's not really tres leches. I mean, I guess it is if it's chocolate.
If it's a chocolate cake,
know.
it's not like a vanilla one. I still want to try it.
I mean, sign me up. Although the pinchos sound good too, though. I like anything chicken. So, and
Nick, I think you'll like that. It'll be a nice, like little, like handheld chicken stick. On chicken on a stick snack.
Right, and the chimichurri will give us so much of a kick.
Yeah, compared to all the other items, I definitely will try that. But the other ones for sure, like, are just wild and out there. So I'm a little bit more excited for those. I honestly will probably try that. I like beet. I like feta. It's
like
vegan. So
it's vegan feta. I don't know if you'd like it.
Yeah, probably not. But I might give it a shot. So, Seamus, do you want to head over to Major Sweets Candy Factory?
Oh, yes, I do. Because if you look at the menu, holy shit! All right, so we're gonna start with a little bit of copyright infringement. I think it's a poison apple. I see shot across the bow. Watch out, mouse, because we're coming for you.
A little rat's gonna get you.
It's clearly it's an apple on a stick, but it's got caramel mousse with an apple filling and streusel cake. So I guess it's not an apple on a stick. I am dumb. I thought it was, but apparently it's more of like
I thought it was too.
It's like a pastry or something. That's what it sounds like. I'm only going based on what it sounds like. I don't know what it actually looks like. I haven't looked at pictures, but it does sound primity. I can't talk. It sounds pretty phenomenal. I can't wait because I like apple anything, so that works for me. There's also the African lentil and potato sambusa coffin.
It's back.
Which is African spiced lentils and potatoes entombed in a vegan pie dough. So this is obviously a vegan option, which I have to say, Universal, small clap. You are, again, killing it with the vegan options. I'm not a vegan myself, but for my friends like Jamie who are vegan, this is a great, it just has so many different choices. But this sounds really good, actually. I'm not really sure what African spiced is. Like, I obviously spices from Africa, but like I've never really had anything that's specifically African spice, but it sounds good. So I'm interested in trying it. Plus I like potatoes because I'm Irish. And then finally, this is screaming Seamus. The Cyclops cup is a frozen peanut butter cup with a candy eyeball in it. Oh my God.
How many can you eat in one go?
I may get 5 of them at once.
Spectacular.
And then finally, our drink, which I believe this is non-alcoholic. It is a sour cherry lemonade boba.
Ooh.
So popping lychee boba with sour cherry twisted gummies, sprinkles topped with whipped cream topping and Sprite.
Gotta try.
So it's not I don't think it's an alcoholic drink. Doesn't look like it. But again, it gotta have options, especially for those who aren't drinking alcohol. So I credit them. But that peanut butter cup though, holy crap, man.
Sounds divine.
They were like, all right, so this Seamus kid, he likes the sweets. We need to make sure we go ham on the sweets this year. And they are coming through with spades. So I'm ecstatic.
All right.
But
so let's move on to Goblin's Feast now. I really do like that they have these all themed by the houses. Yeah. Number one. Too. Goblin legs. No, it's not. It's not goblin legs.
This is also on the bridge too, for anybody who doesn't know.
Yep. This is the harissa barbecue turkey wing. Is a crispy turkey wing coated with a spicy harissa barbecue sauce.
Ooh.
Okay, I can get down on that. We have the return of pumpkin guts.
Yay!
They are back. Were they here last year? Was it off a year?
I think the year before.
This was off a year,
for
right?
Wicked Growth. Yep.
Yeah.
So we
Pumpkin
have
growth. That's what it was.
31 because Pumpkin Lord. Yeah. Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Pumpkin guts, a butternut squash and zucchini noodle with pumpkin seeds and vegan butter inside an acorn squash. This was a very good item. I did enjoy this. And then you want to talk about desserts. This is the dessert that's up my alley. Well, other than some of the others, but the goblin pie, baked mini apple pie with cinnamon sugar and Seamus's favorite, bloody raspberry jam.
I was gonna say the raspberry though. Oh my god.
I just love apple pie. It's like
Let it be known.
Look, I'm with you. I love apple pie too.
That Nick is allergic to apples, and he still decides to eat them because he says he won't die if they're baked.
I'm allergic to eating raw apples. Like I can't just eat an apple. I don't get candy apples because they're not really.
I've never heard of that, but okay.
I can't.
Sure
so I'm allergic. I'm allergic to fruits that grow on certain trees. So I'm allergic to.
He's allergic to these too.
All the
I'm
good
allergic
stuff,
to cats. No, the cats can say that's fine. But I'm allergic to like apples, peaches, pears, plums, kiwi, stuff like that. Don't know why. It's just I'm allergic to the trees that they grow on. So sucks. Cat is going absolutely insane. So I'm sorry. And then you have the return. God. You have the return of Ghoul Juice at this bar. There's the Myers Dark Rum, cherry brandy, simple syrup, mango nectar, lime juice, Palmetto bitters, and Peychaud's bitters. So I'm not a fan of Ghoul Juice. I've had it before. It's just not my favorite.
It's all right. Yeah.
Decent little booth. We got the return of guts. We got some wings. We got some apple pie. Seems like a good little party. So Jamie, you want to finish us off with Triplets of Terror?
Yeah, the other one that I wanted to, because it looks like they got a couple things on here that you would be interested in. I think everything on here you might, Nick. I think Seamus too. So for the first food item we have the Say Cheese Burger for $9.99, an all beef patty on a cheese bun. Ooh, on a cheese bun with American cheese, white cheddar, lettuce, tomato, red onion, and dill pickle aioli. Simple little burger, it seems. Think it's just the burger by itself. That's why a little bit cheaper, because it doesn't have the French fries. Bloody Goody Bag. Crispy chicken chunks with fries, pepper onion mix, and a bloody good sauce. It does contain peanuts, it says in the comment, if you guys are allergic to peanuts. This is also going for $9.99. And then this was the one that interested me a little bit because I love an array of dishes. So Slashed Siblings Sweet Sampler for $8.49. And this is bubblegum mousse balloon, a funfetti cupcake, and a chocolate cheesecake cone trio. So this is kind of be like a little dessert flight that they have for the Triplets of Terror booth. As for drinks,
this is my favorite part.
Do have some cool beers over here. It looks like three daughters decided to. Yeah, I was just gonna say this is perfect that we talked about where we took that little voicemail earlier. So Three Daughters looks like it pretty much has the drinks for this booth in itself. So you could get a little flight, which is going to contain the Three Daughters Beach Blonde Ale, the Florida Orange IPA, and the Rod Bender Amber Ale for $13. Not bad. They also have an Awake Coffee Blonde, the Rod Bender Amber Ale, as I mentioned before, in the flight, and then the Florida Orange IPA as well. So, a couple different new beers, which is nice. Don't really get to see many different
I don't know. Have
they
had Three Daughters here before?
I feel like maybe
I don't think so.
I don't think so. If they have, it's maybe been like a one-off one that they had one time, but I don't think so.
The one-off,
definitely not this many.
The one-off that I remember wasn't 3 Yards. I remember it was Elysian, and you had the Chucky beer. Like
maybe it was Elysian. Yeah, maybe that's what I was thinking of. But yeah, so that's a nice little.
Yeah, I stand slightly corrected. Options. I didn't realize that they were actually going to offer some additional stuff. So
yeah,
they are bringing a few new things in. I like the idea of being able to get all three as a flight, or if you want to do one or the other, you can do that. So that's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Matt, if you are listening to this episode and you want to try the fun beers, head over to the Triplets of Terror.
So. We featured them on it.
The Triplets of Terror food booth might be the spot for you to go.
Yeah.
And I think that covers it. Nick, I almost took your outro.
Well, that covered, not quite. So that covers us going through. So I'm hoping you guys kept a little list running because I did. I have my top 5 items. So let's go through these a little bit. I guess mine are sort of in order of how excited I am for them. So we'll start at number 5. And number 5, I cheated because it is my own little list I get to cheat on. So I paired up 2 desserts that I'm excited the same amount for. And that would be the wooden board eclair from Insidious and the goblin pie from Goblins.
Nice.
So at number 5, that's where I'm putting those little tasty treats. Jamie, what do you have at your number 5?
Mine are kind of in no particular order. I just kind of winged it on this one because I feel like the food does look good and there is stuff like I'm eager to try, but I feel like nothing really goes above the others. And to be honest, I wasn't writing it down once we were talking about all this stuff, and I probably should have. So that's why we're going off the top of my head. But honestly, this would probably be pretty high up there if I did number it correctly. But the Rocks from Hell from Slaughter Cinema Booth, the little crispy jalapeno and cheddar cheese curd looking things. Those little things sound good.
Yep. All right, Seamus, what do you kind of putting at your 5 spot? I know you're scrambling right now.
Yeah, so I had completely planned on taking notes, and I got just too excited and too hyped up.
Yeah, right.
But, no, so my number 5 is going to have to be the Frozen Death Chill. It sounds just wacky enough that I gotta try it, and I know I'm gonna like it because I love cheesecake and I love minty things. So battered in corn dog batter, I'm not sure how that's gonna work, but. Shit, I mean, you only live once, right? YOLO, so fuck my insides.
It might be the last time you'll live.
Yeah, it could be. Hey, shit, if Friday night's the last night on this earth, as long as I have one of these things, then look at
it's
that.
All good. So I'll swing back to my side of things. My number 4 is actually Jamie's number 5. That would be the Rocks from Hell. Nice. Little crispy jalapeno, cheddar cheese stuff, lumps of coal. I think that's just a perfect little grab and go item. Just kind of throw it back and good to go. And this will not be the last time we go to the Slaughter Cinema Booth on my list. So Jamie, what do you have at your number 4 spot?
So for my number 4 spot, I have the Abbott's Farm Corn Chowder. I think it sounds pretty good. I love a chowder. I really like
now. So
I know. I was going to say, for my vegetarians out there, I was feeling very ill for a long time, long story short, because I wasn't eating properly and getting the right nutrition. So I'm back to being pescatarian, but still no meats, just seafood and veggies. But yeah, I love corn chowder. I don't know if you guys have had corn chowder before, but it's actually pretty good. Yep. So don't really know how this would be on a warm fall night in Orlando with a crispy 85 degrees outside, but we'll see. I still want to try it because it sounds pretty good.
Yeah. All right. And then Seamus, your number 4.
My number 4 is going to be the Forbidden Falafel. Like I said, I love falafels.
Falafels
so
are
I'm
good.
always down. I'm always down to try different takes on them. So.
All right. My number 3. What do I have here? We're going to go back to the Insidious booth for my number 3. And that will be the eggs in the further. I like the jalapeno broche. I like feta cheese. So I'm willing to give that a chance. I love spicy style food. So let's... I could fuck with that a little bit. Jamie, you're number 3.
So that was actually going to be my number 3 as well. The little eggs in the fur sounds really good.
All right. And Seamus, you're number 3?
My number 3 is the Rocks from Hell. So
yeah, they made everybody's list.
These things sound awesome. I love jalapeno poppers, and
it's kind of what we're rocking with.
Make them spooky, and I'm even better.
Right. So I said we would be going back to Slaughter Cinema, and this is where we're going back to Slaughter Cinema so we can get that summer camp dog, baby. Get a little hot dog with some nacho cheese and baked beans and pepper and Cheetos and hopefully a roll of toilet paper.
Was a fiery shits after that.
Yeah,
one.
It's gonna be. Yeah, I'm gonna squeeze out some triplets of terror once I'm done with this hot dog.
Gross.
Oh, Jamie, you're number 2.
Oh, funny
how I put it at my number 2 spot.
Yeah, right. So my number
I see what you did there.
Fire in the hole.
My number 2 spot is the only dessert I have on my list, and that is the chocolate tres leches. That just sounds so yeah, I think it's gonna be really
sounds
good.
real good.
I'm excited to try that one.
And then Seamus, you're number 2.
Yeah, so my 2 is gonna be the same booth. But I'm actually going with the pork carniceria. I was going to get this right, too. I was so pissed at myself. Pork carniceria. I'm sorry, everyone that speaks Spanish. But I love pork, and Mojo Pork is bomb. And this just sounds Oh, it just sounds right up my alley. So I'm definitely going to try this day one.
And then my number one.
Numero uno.
It's got to be the mini Stay Puft s'more. It has to be.
Really?
Why wouldn't it be?
S'mores. I'm more sweet than savory for the most part, and s'mores are just like
agreed.
So good. I will probably have at least 3 of these a week. Minimum. There's no way I can order just one of them either because they're not that. It's a s'more. You can't eat just one s'more. That's like sacrilege. Right. That's impossible.
Exactly.
I'm pretty sure you physically.
We grew up camping, so like it's like a staple of our childhoods.
Yeah.
How do you not have s'mores?
It's got to be there. So Jamie, your number one most anticipated item.
My number one, because I've been saying the last couple years they have had this, but they've had it with the fucking hot dog in it, and I haven't been able to eat it, but finally, Slimer's Korean corn dog, baby. Korean cheese dog with Fritos, coated Cheetos, ghost pepper. Oh my God, I can't wait to dig in. I love Korean corn dogs, and every single year they've had one for the last couple of years. It's always had the hot dog in it, so I haven't been able to eat it, but I'm really glad. I mean, hopefully this one doesn't either, but in the descriptions I've read from multiple sources, I don't think it does. So that's nice, but yeah, I think this will be really good. Nothing like a good old corn dog, and especially with all the extra crap on it. I mean, come on.
And Seamus,
my number one. I mean, come on, guys and ladies and gals and everyone else listening. How is it not the Cyclops Cup? I mean, are we serious?
That's true.
Butter cup? You ever see the scene where Scrooge McDuck dives into his gold coin collection? I would do that with Reese's peanut butter cups. I love Reese's. I am a whore for Reese's peanut butter cups. It is my thing. So we're talking a frozen peanut butter cup. I'm going to have one of these every single night of the event that I go to. I promise you that will happen. And you can time me. Take a picture and put it on the Instagram. Every single time I buy one, we'll count the nights.
We have to make a peanut butter cup tracker.
I bet you every last single dollar that I have, I will eat one of these every single night on there. I love peanut butter cups. I can't speak. I'm more praise. I can't heap more praise. Reese's is my dude. He's my buddy. I know him personally. So Major Sweets, you better have a bomb ass peanut butter cup, or I'm not gonna be happy with you fucking psycho. Sorry, I'm done. That's my number one, Cyclops Cup.
Good peanut butter cup. All right, well, that is our rundown of all of the food and beverages that we got here. Like you said, a lot more food options than beer and drinks, but that's fine. I am very happy with the menu we got, and I'm glad that they actually put it out in time for us to record this episode.
Yeah, right.
We will be back tomorrow for our final episode in this 1 week until HHN Podathon, and that, of course, is our hype list episode. So be sure to check that out before you enter the park tomorrow, and we will have a whole long discussion on those scare zones and houses. But until next time, which is tomorrow, which is opening day, which is our hype list episode. This is Nick.
This is Reese's little brother.
This is Jamie.
Happy hot dogs.
Cursed. To the death cursed.
You know, it's Halloween. I guess everyone's entitled to one good scare.
And again, I would just like to thank Vampire Stepdad for letting us use his music for our intro and outro music. So if you would, just go check him out. Spotify, Facebook. Again, that is Vampire Stepdad.